Welcome to Community Essentials.
Something is happening to me. Something is coming over me. Got me wide awake tonight.
Hello and welcome to another exciting segment of Community Essentials. I'm your dynamic host, Nisakura, and today we have one of our special guests, a return guest, one of our favorites for such a worthy cause. We have Debra Vines, the founder and executive director of The Answer Incorporated, joining us today. How you doing, Debra?
I am doing well. This is actually the fourth peak.
Oh yeah,
I think this is our fourth visit to Community Essentials. I'm very, very happy to be here. Thank you for having us again.
You're welcome. Very, very glad to have you. Now, The Answer Incorporated. Just talk to us a little bit about what it is. For those who don't know, who haven't heard, many have, but just for the few who haven't, let them know what it is.
Well, The Answer Incorporated is a 501c3 agency that is dedicated, and I mean that word so profoundly, dedicated to provide support, resources, education, and advocacy for families impacted by autism and other developmental differences. And the reason why I say developmental differences is because a lot of families, children are affected by autism and ADD, schizophrenia. We have families in our group with children that have Down syndrome, schizophrenia, and an array of developmental disorders. So we don't want to leave them out as well. But the reason why the agency was started is because my husband and I, James Harlan, we have a son, Jason, who is now 24 years old, who is impacted by autism. He is doing very, very well with the hard work of having two loving parents, but just putting the work in, taking him out in the community and trying to be a vessel for other families. So the answer was started primarily because of that, and another number one reason because of the lack of support and resources in our community. So my husband and I got tired of talking about it and just decided to do something about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, what does it mean to be the voice for such a special agency as The Answer Incorporated?
Wow, the voice, that's a big word, the voice. But you know, it's a lot of hard work, but you know, I thank God for allowing me to be a vessel, to be the voice in our community, because since the Answer's conception in 2007, the community has become more aware, and we've serviced over 400 families in the community, and that's from families having children 3 years old to, I think, the oldest participant that we service is 53.
Okay.
And it's not just African American. We service Hispanic families. We have families that are Caucasian, because autism doesn't know a color. And unfortunately, like I said, in our community, due to funding, and that's across the world, not just the state of Illinois is in the bottom for funding as it relates to developmental disability. So it makes it quite challenging. So you have to really do creative things, and it takes agencies like The Answer on the ground roots level to actually get into these families' homes and get them the support that they need to make them whole, so that they can be, so that they get empowered to actually want to help their children. And not just that, but to be a vessel in their community as well, because one of our mottos is to train the trainer. Our tagline is together helping each other with each other. So the education that the families learn from The Answer, they go out and they teach another family, because I can't do it alone.
Amazing. So to be a voice for The Answer Inc. means to get in on the ground level?
To get in on the ground level running, because I'm still running. I'm running while I'm sitting here right now. Just
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I'm excited about the things that we've accomplished. Like I said, we on a monthly basis, we have a support group that meets the fourth Monday of every month. And we have an average of about 25 to 30 families that come out. And it's a co-ed meeting, but we primarily have women that come out because a lot of the men work. But my husband has a group called Just for Men that meets the first Saturday of every month at the Joseph Center in Forest Park. And you can go to our website at www.theanswerinc.org, and you can get all the information about our support groups. We provide recreational services as well. We actually just had a great dance. You and Tammy have been to a couple of our events, and I think we had a little over 250 people there. But you know, one of the main components that I'm really, really just adamant about with the answer is the awareness that we've given the entire community, as far as business owners, police departments, just the community as a whole. Because I mean, the word autism was just so, it was really just informal to the community. They heard of the word, and they see our participants, some in the community, and a lot of our families were, I guess you would say, ashamed to bring their children out in the community because their behavior is sometimes not the norm. But we're encouraging our families to bring their kids out, and by that, the community is now more aware. I mean, even you see more children in Walmart and in Jewels, and because the families feel more empowered now because of the education that they're getting from the answer.
And that's amazing. I mean, like you said, to empower families, those people with autism need to have somewhere that they know they can go.
Absolutely.
You know, so they don't feel isolated.
Right.
Because it's a family.
Right.
It's a family just like any other family.
Yeah, we have a 24-hour support line that's probably ringing right now that I'm sitting here. But, you know, everything that I do, or my husband and I do, is a blueprint of being parents ourselves. All the things that we went through, all the things that we lacked, for us, for our son, we want to make sure that other families don't have to go through those challenges that we went through of not having someone to talk to that understood. You know, our families, they tolerate us, but they don't necessarily celebrate us because they don't understand. You know, it's almost like, you know, you come into a situation where, because what you don't understand, you're what? Afraid of.
Right.
So, you know, we want our family members to just embrace our children, you know, and to learn more about them, because what you don't understand, you are afraid of.
Absolutely. You know, and also, you mentioned the challenges. Speaking of challenges, tell us about some of the things that's been happening in the news with families with people with autism, some of the things that they've been facing in the news lately.
You know, I'm so glad that you brought that up. It's unfortunate that Stephon Watts was killed by the policeman in Calumet City. And we had a situation, I'm not going to say just like that, but a little bit similar with our son, Jason. Jason had a medication imbalance when he was about 11 years old.
Okay.
And we had to call the ambulance because he had got really, really violent, where he was harmful to himself and others. And so we called the ambulance, and in turn, you know, when I called the ambulance, I told them everything that was going on in the situation. And they called the police department, which at first I was just very irate about. You know, why are you calling the police? It's just my son.
Right.
And, you know, I'm so glad that they came, because, you know, the situation looked really, really just out of control for a moment, but they came in, and, you know, when the situation was over, everybody left. And, you know, I want to give a public shout out to the Broadview Police Department, because they really, really handled things really nicely. I mean, they kept me calm, and it was really good. And like I said, it was an unfortunate situation with Stephon Watts. So one of the missions of the answer, one of our components, is to train the police departments on how to handle our families and how to handle our children, because we encourage our families to make the policemen, make the first responders your friends, because sometimes our children scream, sometimes they disturb the peace. And if the policeman is really familiar with your family and with your child, when they come into your home, you know, they'll be like a family member. And so that's, you know, really what ended up happening with us. When the policeman came in, they knew Jason's name, they knew me from just walking him around. And something that I do every time I move to a different township, and I've primarily been to Proviso Township, I will go to the police department and introduce myself and let them know that I have a child with autism. Sometimes he screams, sometimes he gets a little irate, and thank God Jason is just grown in leaps and bounds, where he's just really outgrown, and he's gotten a really good balance of medication, and so that's really helped him as well. But like going back to the police trainings, we've done trainings at the Forest Park Police Department, Broadview, I'm going to say Riverside, and Maywood. So we've made the police department our friends, and we've become allies with them so that when they have families that call, we can be a referral service to them. And when a situation like that with Stephon Watts happened, they will have someone that they can send that family to. So it's not just the police departments, it's just not the family, it's just not you, me, it's the next door neighbors, it's the stores, it's the entire community that has to make our community of autism a whole. It's not just one person. So, you know, my heart goes out to the family of Stephon Watts. And, you know, hopefully, you know, we can get together with that family. And, you know, just because Stephon is no longer here, maybe we can be a beacon of support for that family as well.
Right. Now, you mentioned that you get the police department involved. You educate
Yes.
your community. You let them know, you make them aware
Yes.
that you have a child with autism and that sometimes, you know, their behavior is different from what they normally see.
Absolutely.
So that way that you feel more connected and that they can feel more comfortable with what they may not understand.
Yes.
Now, how does it affect the families when a tragedy like that happens, though? How does it affect the community when a tragedy like that happened, with what happened with Stephon?
Well, you know, I really can't elaborate on what happened with Stephon because, you know, thankfully, in the situation with Jason is still here.
Right.
And I just can't even imagine, you know, how that would feel because when I first heard about it, the first thing I thought is, you know, that could have been Jason. It could have been somebody in my group because when I look at the other children and adults that are in the answer and just even in the community, you know, my son's face goes on their face. I think about, you know, this could be my son that's going through this. So, you know, I'm sure that the community is in a rage. The police department, I'm sure, is not able to answer questions about what happened, and I'm sure that it's a lot that happened that the community just does not know about. But like I said, I just extended the hand of the Answer Incorporated for help on both sides, the police department and the family. I spoke to Chief Gilmore, and I extended our services to the Calumet City Police Department. But I'm gonna tell you something. My main concern is to get Proviso Township healed.
Okay.
We do have appointments to do trainings at the Hillside Police Department.
Right.
And with the Broadview Police Department. We haven't been there. And I just want to hit every municipality in my town because they say you have to what? Take care of home first?
That's right.
But if Calumet City called me tomorrow, I'll be there in a heartbeat. We're connected with a couple of other organizations, the Chicago South Side Autism Connection and Place for Me, which is on the South Side. So we're just hoping that, you know, with all the grassroots organizations, we can come together as a whole and support each other because it's a lot of families out here with developmental disabilities. The Answer can't take care of all of them. Chicago South Side, Autism Speaks, Autism Society. It's just an array of organizations that if we come together as a whole, we can really do it. And I'm glad that I'm talking about that because on March 24th, we're having a Autism and Special Needs Conference. Is called Celebrating Differences. And the reason why we named it Celebrating Differences is because the community looks at our children as different. And you know what? They are different because they're special. So we want to celebrate them that day by having an array of vendors with related resources about autism and special needs. And we're also going to have 8 breakout sessions. And this is the part that I'm really excited about in the Sakura because it's going to have breakout sessions for the teachers and social workers. It's going to have a breakout session for parents. And this is the main one that I'm really excited about is the police departments. Going to have one for the police departments and church members. Because for a long time, my husband and I didn't go to church because Jason would sometimes stand up inappropriately. He would speak inappropriately during church service, and people just kind of looked around and was like, what is he doing? And we felt really uncomfortable, but we wanted to praise God. So thankfully, we are a member of New Manor Ministries. Shout out, to New Manor Ministries in Downers Grove. But during that particular time, we want to, I guess, reach out to the church leaders, Sunday school teachers, so that they can get a grasp about our families, about our children, about the signs and symptoms on what to do. Our pastor is actually going to facilitate that particular session. And then Officer Allen of Maywood is going to facilitate, we're going to call that To Serve and Protect, that particular segment. And then after the breakout sessions, we're going to have a panel discussion, which we're going to have a legislator, a parent. We're going to have a young man that has just done tremendous things and overcome a lot of challenges with autism. We're going to have a representative from Autism Speaks, myself, and a pastor and a policeman on that panel. So during the lunch hour, and one thing that's really, really powerful is that it's free.
Oh, that's amazing. Just that word has a lot of power.
Absolutely free. So you're going to get all this information. You're going to have privy to all of these vendors, and it's free. You know, I mean, not downplaying any other agency that charges, because we just got blessed and got a sponsor. But to be able to do this, I've gone to so many conferences and had to spend a lot of money. And one other thing, this is a bonus.
Yeah.
To the teachers and social workers, you're going to get free CPDUs. So where do you get that? Free.
Just like that.
March 24th, Rock of Ages Church in Maywood from 10 till 2.
It sounds like you're doing an excellent job
We are
with
working
the
so
community
hard.
and everyone, just getting everyone together. It's not an easy mission, you know, I mean, collectively making sure everyone comes together for a great purpose. And you named your event Celebrating Differences. I think that's such a beautiful title. I mean, celebrating differences, God made the world with differences. You know, that's what makes the world so beautiful.
Yes.
You know, different colors, different, you know, places, different everything, you know, everything coming together to make one thing that's a variety of beauty for everyone, including all of the children that he made and designed.
Absolutely. It's, you know, it's one other component of the answer that I failed to mention is a bullying prevention program that we're now hosting at Proviso East High School. And we were able to do this program, and it's going to be from now until October, with the help of the sponsorship of Illinois Violence Prevention Authority, which this funding was sponsored by our own state senator, Kimberly Lyford. And we're just so grateful, because at first when I was thinking about bullying, I was thinking about our children, our targets.
Right.
Because a lot of our children, as they become older and adults, they're functional in the community to a certain degree. And they're targets. They want to be friends, especially the children that have Asperger's. They're high functioning. So we're teaching the children at Proviso East not just about bullying persons with disabilities, but bullying themselves, cyberbullying, the name calling, the fighting. So we have awesome curriculum. I have a wonderful staff, Dr. Lynette Danley and Philip Bias. They're doing an awesome job at Proviso East High School. We have so many great ideas and initiatives. We're thankful to Mr. Valente and Assistant Principal Keisha Lang for allowing us to come in and do this program.
We want to commend everyone that's also assisting you too, because it takes a village.
It takes a village.
village.
You know, I'm just so thankful, even, you know, to the board of directors. I had to give them a shout out. The Answer Incorporated board of directors, who just work so hard and is always open to every idea that I have, every vision that I have. It's like, okay, let's go with it. But one other thing I have to mention.
Talk about it.
We have our walkathon coming up May 5th, and that is at Proviso East High School. Everything is going to be on the website again. That website is www.theanswerinc.org. And our phone number is 708-296-5651, and that is a 24-hour number.
Now talk to us about the kids having a great time, because you threw a lot of parties.
Oh,
Y'all
yeah.
be getting down.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, we just finished the pre-Valentine's Day party, which
How did
was
that
last Saturday. Oh my God, it was so nice. Rico Michael Jackson, they always want Rico. So Rico performed, and like I stated, it was over 200 participants there from the age, I'm gonna say 5 to 50. And we have the younger participants on one side at the Forest Park Community Center, and I have to say thank you to them, because they always open their doors for us. We have our monthly meetings there as well, the fourth Monday of every month. But the dances, the next one's in June, because we go into so much preparation for our dances. You know, the first time I took my son Jason to a dance, I think it was in the basement of a church. And, you know, like I said, I'm not downplaying it, but, you know, a lot of times when organizations have events for our children with special needs, they don't make it special enough for me. So when the Answer has a party for our participants, we put tablecloths on the tables, we have centerpieces, balloons, we do raffles, we have music, we give them food. I mean, we don't just put a CD and a tape player, we have a DJ.
Right.
And one young man was in a wheelchair, and he was wheeling back and forth dancing. He said, "I'm at the club." So, I mean, just to see the looks on their faces, and the pictures are going to be posted on the website, but it's just something amazing. Every parent that, a lot of parents, they kind of just drop their children off at other events, but we have them to stay at our event because we have an area just for them so that they can get the opportunity just to see the look on their kids' faces. This one participant's father told me he's 22 years old, and I make it my business to dance with everybody there.
Right.
And he said to me, he said, Miss Vance, my son has never had a dance before. He's never had a dance. So, I mean, just to see the joy in that dad's face was just something so amazing.
And it's wonderful, that they get that and that you're leading it, which means that they get to have a great time and a great party by the same standard that any and everyone else would and should.
Absolutely.
And they get in there and they get it in.
I
was at the party and I was like, they're getting a little competitive on the floor.
Well, one thing that really is really amazing, Sakura, is that we partner with Barbara Cole from Maywood Youth Mentoring, and she brings a lot of her participants who are typical children, but once everybody's on the dance floor, you can't tell who is who because, and she brings them in, and we're thankful to her and Isaiah Brandon from Youth on the Move for bringing their participants as well. We even had some volunteers from our bullying program because, again, we're trying to teach them about special needs kids. So they came in and they were just dancing with our kids and just having a good time. And when we came back to class, they said, they're not different from us.
Right.
They're no different from us. They just can't talk or, cross the street and don't know danger and, might do things a little bit different. But they like to have fun just like we do. So it's just amazing.
It is amazing. That is very amazing. I love to watch them dance. they get me excited. That's how you do it.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful because, when you think about a child with a special need, Jason is not manipulative. He's just about love. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I look at him and, I'm groggy, I don't want to get up, but he just wakes up happy all the time because he doesn't know the cares of the world. And, we really need to think about that too, just take some notes from our special needs kids.
Right, they teach us just as well. There's
Absolutely.
always something to learn from any and everything that God designed.
Yeah.
Now, you have some of the better events coming up in the near future too.
Yeah.
In addition to the celebration of differences.
Yes.
What else do you have coming up?
Well, we have, like I stated before, we have the walkathon May 5th, and then we have another dance in June.
Okay.
We have our cookout, cookout and parade. That's every year. This will be, I think, our 5th annual. Okay. And I'm not sure what the location is going to be, but it's usually in August, so you can just keep checking the website. It's going to be in August, but our gala, and it'll be our 4th annual gala. Okay. But it will be our 5th year anniversary, so this is going to be an amazing night. It's going to be at the Crystal Sky in McCook, and that's going to be September 29th.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll be completing the year. Hopefully, maybe doing something in November for the adults, but the gala is just something so special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With you in charge, I know it's going to be fabulous.
Well, I just wanted to make a quick announcement, but the Sakura and Tammy Yarborough are going to be honored at the gala this year. So.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just so appreciative to you guys having us on your show and. Keeping our community abreast of what the answer is doing, so that means a lot to us.
Absolutely, we very much appreciate it. Thank you, and you're very welcome.
Okay.
Now, some of your greatest challenges and benefits of being the leader of the agency, The Answer Incorporated.
I'm not going to even talk about the challenges. I'm just going to talk about the benefits.
That's good. Works for me.
The benefits are to see a family help another family. To see a family come from a place in the dark and they could see the light. Right. That they could see the light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that they have a child with a disability, but to know that it is a light at the end of the tunnel because they come to the Answer Incorporated.
Absolutely. Well, once again, it's been a great time
Thank
here
you
with you.
so much.
And anything else that you want to mention? We don't want to leave out anything.
I think I mentioned everything, but if I missed something, you can go to the website again, www.theanswerinc.org, and our phone number is 708-296-5651, just for men, support group, first Saturday of every month, co-ed support group, fourth Monday of every month.
We want to thank you again, Debra Vines. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for coming on, educating us, the community, and everyone who have children or families, those with autism. We want to thank you so much just for sharing your heart and your dedication.
Thank you so much for having us.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're very
Right.
welcome. And we want to thank each and every one of you, our valued viewers, every time you tune in and watch us here at Community Essentials. I'm your dynamic host, Sakura, and I want to thank you for watching the Essential Community News, where we always bring the essential community news to you. Thank you.
Say I wanna live the good life, the good life. Woo! All right now. Good life. That's how we all wanna live. When all this world we live in is filled with love and giving, and hearts all start to healing, as one together, then we'll be living a good life. The good life. The good life. The good life. When birds sing sweet from treetops, and all God's children will not, 'cause all his love's what we got, as he keeps on giving, that's how we'll be living a good life. The good life. The good life. The good life. When our joy on high is ringing, and an angel's voice is singing, with the harvest full for bringing, and we feel like heaven now. That's the good life. The good life. The good life. The good life. Woo! Said I wanna live the good life. The good life. That's how we all wanna live. But until then, you better pray, 'cause life's no guarantee. Use your heart and mind and be free. When love heals the seasons, and our hearts are joined with pleasing, and his grace is the only reason, 'cause we're all in favor. That's us living the good life. 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 When these hearts we fill with big dreams, overflow with treasures Christ brings, giving all its great enlightening, sharing in God's wisdom, you know that you're living a good life. Good life. The good life. The good life. Good life. The good life. When on this journey we discover how to lift up our own brother, and we're loving on one another, then we'll all be living now. But we'll be living a good life. The good life. The good life. The good life. The good life. So we'll be living a good life.